Today I tried beating Minecraft in reverse. I coded an entirely new custom game mode where you start in the end mining dragon blocks and netherite trees, have to slowly downgrade your gear and fight a giant tree boss to actually beat the game. So day number 1 in the end, first step we gotta take is punching a netherite tree, of course. The wood was the easy part, but boy, let me tell you, mining netherite with your bare hands is not fun. After 30 blocks I also got a sapling, replanted the tree for even more resources, and made myself a netherite pickaxes to lessen my suffering a bit. I soon had enough for a set of netherite armor and tools when I accidentally looked at an enderman. Which was actually pretty convenient though, because I was starting to get hungry and endermen actually drop ender steak in this game mode. You might have also noticed how my experience level just dropped from 50 to 49. So killing mobs and mining, for example, reduces your XP, while enchanting or dying increases your level again. Probably seems pretty dumb, but you actually need 0 experience for a new special feature later in the video. Remember this guy? Well, this is him today. Yeah, that's right, the Ender Dragon is a block in this game mode, and mining it leaves you with A, an end crystal, and B, tears, because it leaves you just like never mind found it again. So every time you mine the block, it just teleports to a random new location until you collected 10 crystals. Farmed some more ender steak in between, and then finally made my way to the first obsidian tower. I placed the first one, which successfully connected to the portal, then ender pearl to the next tower, and repeated the whole thing again. After the 7th crystal, I thought about throwing an MLG pearl, but realized I'm not Dream, decided to play it safe, and proceeded to almost get killed by an enderman. Worked out though, and soon enough I placed my last crystal, which spawned the overworld portal. To activate it I needed a special new item, but not ender eyes, no. I had to get my hands on over eyes. With the overworld portal being spawned, the dragon block luckily also spawned a gateway, giving me access to end cities. Not gonna lie, the spawn point was a bit weird, but at least I instantly found an end city and started to get to work on these little beautiful creatures, which was honestly a huge pain without a bow. Also found a bunch of really nice loot and put it in the ender chest that I then destroyed for some obsidian. And once most of the shulkers were dead, I grabbed the elytra from the ship and headed back to the gateway. Except that I didn't, because I forgot where it was and flew into the exact opposite direction. Luckily my massive gamer brain remembered to screenshot the coordinates, so I found it again and teleported back to the main island. I then crafted my over eyes, placed them in the frames, and finally reached the overworld on day 5. So far so good, but finding and defeating the overworld boss still requires a few more special items. So I started to do some mining, or I tried at least, because the pickaxe order is also reversed in this data pack. And I conveniently left all the tools I already had in the ender chest that I then destroyed. Very smart indeed. Because netherite pickaxes can only mine netherite and diamonds, I basically had to start at the opposite end and mine my way from diamonds to iron, then stone, and finally wood. Or so I thought, because I then had the genius idea of just using a creeper to skip to a stone pickaxe instantly. After wandering in the darkness like forever, I finally got myself some coal, made a few torches, and then proceeded to collect some iron. Back on the surface, I made my very first base, which turned out to be the most atrocious thing I've ever seen in my life. And what made it even worse is that I used all my stone, and since my stone pick was already broken, I had to go find some more creepers again. Yep, I'm not a very intelligent man. I then started to work on a little farm, but got surprised by phantoms, which was not fun to deal with in the slightest. In the morning, I then welcomed 2 chicken to my humble abode, and the day after, I finally found some sheep so the phantom nightmares would be over. Because looking at my excuse of a house got increasingly frustrating, I decided to do something about it and built an upside down house to kind of fit the theme of this challenge. I then gave my sheep and chicken a bit more space because I'm a huge supporter of animal rights. And now breed, my children, for I need your meat. While my house looked kinda cool, it was just insanely impractical because I couldn't quickly access any of my chests. So I decided to put a little trapdoor at the front to fix that problem. Then I prepared a little enchanting room, and while my sugarcane farm was going strong, I completely forgot about the cows to later craft books with, which I then also fixed. And with that, it was time to explore which new features the Nether had to offer. My spawn was insanely lucky and there was a fortress like 30 blocks next to my portal, but before going there I wanted to get some gold boots because I personally do not enjoy getting harassed by piglins. After a few minutes I finally headed into the fortress and started looking for blaze rods. Now here's where it gets a bit weird again. Blazes and wither skeletons don't naturally spawn in this game mode, and your goal is to create spawners instead of destroying them. Similar to nether wart, blaze rods also grow on soul sand, which was luckily not too hard to find, and with my newly obtained blaze powder I crafted some fire charges and dropped one on the ground. Adding 3 more blaze rods actually summoned my first blaze, so I repeated the same thing 2 more times, because 3 blazes in a 10 block radius create a spawner in the middle. That wasn't too difficult yet, but now came the annoying part, finding a wither rose, which randomly spawns around nether fortresses. Since it blends in extremely well with the environment, this took me quite some time, but after a while I spotted one and used it to convert my blaze spawner into a wither skeleton spawner. I then proceeded to farm some skulls and somehow managed to get 2 drops in a row, which actually has a 0.0625% chance of happening, so maybe there is a little bit of dream inside me after all. After the 3rd skull, I headed back to my base, crafted an enchantment table, only to realize I did not have enough bookshelves and not a single piece of lapis. Not a problem I can fix though, and while I was underground I also got some more obsidian in order to craft an ender chest and finally get access to my items again. I got major flashbacks to the netherite fisting fiesta from the start, but after killing an annoying skeleton and then boxing myself in, I finally had enough obsidian and headed back up. Took everything I needed, farmed some more cows and sugarcane, and then got myself a power 4 bow. It gave me 1 experience level back, which was unfortunate, but I didn't feel like fighting a wither with unenchanted pleb gear. I then went back into a cave, spawned the wither, had a relaxed fight, and could then call myself a proud nether star owner. I was getting closer and closer to reaching the overworld boss. The only major thing left to do was building a full gold beacon, for reasons which will become apparent later. After placing the beacon and the little gold I already had, I headed back into the end for an interesting strategy in this game mode. Because the thing is, piglin trades are kinda reversed as well. So they now give you gold in exchange for ender pearls. After farming a few stacks and taking forever to find a bastion, I finally got my trades going and watched my inventory fill up with gold. With the gold beacon standing, it was time to grind my XP away. So I killed a few fish, a few squids, skeletons, spiders, creepers, and then it was time for my farm animals to fulfill their true purpose. I left the babies because I'm not a monster, but the rest had to go. Now I combined an Eye of Ender with an oak log on top of the gold beacon to create an Oakley Eye, which you can right click to locate the boss. I threw it a bunch of times and followed it around for half a Minecraft day until I found a village to intrude. Found someone who generously offered me his bed, which I thankfully accepted because I was not gonna fight the boss at night. And then it was finally time, so I threw my eye once more and Oakley awoke. As his first attack he launched me into the air, but I just tanked it and tried to land an aerial shot. He then threw some leaves which poisoned me and actually got me quite low. I luckily managed to survive the next launch attack, but already had to gap like 20 seconds into the fight, which is pretty embarrassing, but I'm also not Technoblade, so I have every right to suck. Dodged some more attacks and then started to work on his health. What makes this fight especially challenging is that arrows only affect the head and the body can only be damaged with wooden swords. So if you're not good with the bow, you have to get close, deal some damage and then run away to dodge his ground slam attacks. Another interesting aspect is that the further you are away from Oakley, the more damage your arrows deal. So my tactic was to end the pearl far away and land some long distance shots. He kept getting close again pretty quickly, so it only kinda worked out, but I just tried my best to dodge all the attacks. I got an insane sword combo, but then got hit by annoying leaves again, which got me down to 1 heart. And I had to use my second grapple, but I somehow survived and then landed my last arrow right into his stupid face. Watched him drop to the ground and then collected all the XP that I could now use normally again after the fight. Quite a challenge, but I'm glad I finally did it. If you want to try out the boss fight too, by the way, free download is in the description. Hope you enjoyed, and that's it. Leave a like, subscribe. Bye!